main news. Mike Tyson is freed from jail amid reports of a $200 million contract.
And the sports headline, Damon Hill still on track for the first pole position of the new season.
The former heavyweight champion Mike Tyson left prison today and headed for his luxury home on a private jet. He was released at dawn after serving 3 years of a 6-year rape sentence at the jail in Indiana. Tyson, once the youngest ever heavyweight champion, is expected to sign a fight deal worth a reported $200 million.
Wearing the white cap and black smock of a Muslim convert, he emerged at dawn amid a phalanx of bodyguards. Seldom has a convicted rapist left here in a stretch limousine. Tyson's newfound humility, it seems, has its limits. He seemed happy to leave.
Oh, yes. Yes, he was relieved to have this over with. Very calm. He was very calm.
From jail to a nearby mosque, where former heavyweight champion Muhammad Ali arrived to pray with him, and where the man who converted him saw a new Tyson.
Sitting in front of me in a very humble way, there is so much of humility, sincerity in him.
But Tyson is unrepentant, still claiming he did not rape beauty contestant Desiree Washington 3 years ago. She is angry at his early release.
He knows what he did to me. I know what he did to me. And I have really nothing else to say to him. I feel nothing.
A private jet took Tyson home, where he could bask in the comfort of fans. His cavalcade passing dozens of yellow ribbons in the driveway of his mansion. There he has servants, a swimming pool and bowling alley, but soon he'll try another sport. Tyson was the youngest man to win the heavyweight title and the youngest to lose it. He wants to regain it. The financial reward will be enormous. Tyson says he's a changed man. He has 4 years on probation to prove it. What the boxing world wants to know is, has he changed as a fighter? We'll know that within months. Bill Neely, ITN, Indianapolis.
Here, prison staff at Whitemore Jail won't be disciplined over the escape of IRA prisoners last year. But a 6-month inquiry into the escape does identify what the Home Office calls serious performance shortcomings by a number of individuals.
After the breakout and swift recapture of IRA prisoners last September at Whitemore and the discovery of explosives and arms inside the jail, it was thought that as many as 10 prison officers might face disciplinary action. Today it's been revealed that no formal charges will be made against any staff, but a new inquiry has found serious shortcomings involving a number of prison service employees, including, it's understood, senior management. Appropriate action will be taken, it says. The latest investigation set out to find who was to blame after Sir John Woodcock's report in December described the breakout as a disaster waiting to happen. There have been calls for Home Secretary Michael Howard to spell out exactly what the report means by serious shortcomings.
I think what we want to hear from the Home Secretary is how he proposes to stop this happening again, and what action, if any, he's going to take about those people who failed in their duty.
Labour say Mr Howard must face up to his responsibilities.
Well, this report destroys Michael Howard's attempt to put all the blame on prison governors and prison officers. He must take his part in the blame.
It's understood that Mr Howard will give his response to the report next week, probably through a written answer to a parliamentary question, rather than a statement in the House of Commons. QPIM ITN, Westminster.
On the final day of her historic visit to South Africa, the Queen has given an unprecedented thank you to its people. She told them her 6-day tour had been one of the most outstanding experiences of her life.
From the Queen who brought rain to drought-stricken South Africa, the clouds parted long enough for a final farewell. The last few hours of an historic visit. A visit to celebrate South Africa's new multiracial democracy. It was a day of emotion. This woman had her first glimpse of the Queen and could barely talk through the tears.
Very, God bless.
The success of this visit cannot be questioned. It's thrilled the new South Africa and given a timely boost to Britain's beleaguered monarchy. From the Queen, a heartfelt tribute to the people of South Africa.
You have rounded off quite splendidly what has been one of the outstanding experiences of my life. I shall never forget the welcome you have given us. We shall take back in a new form an old message. Faith can move mountains. Faith can recreate a nation.
The Zulu king arrived, bearing a gift for his royal guest. And when the wrapping came off, it was clearly something the Queen wasn't expecting. Tonight she'll also be offered this prize bull, a Zulu mark of honour, a present palace officials say she'll accept, but won't be taking home. Mark Austin, ITN, Durban.
Police in Belfast are examining guns, ammunition and bomb-making equipment discovered during a search in a loyalist area of the city last night. The arms, found hidden in an alleyway, include 2 rifles, a shotgun, 2 revolvers and about 200 rounds of ammunition. The IEC also found mercury switches used for making bombs. Up to 10,000 demonstrators marched to the centre of London today, calling on the government to spend more money on education. The protesters from across the country are worried that cuts in spending will mean fewer teachers and bigger classes.
Formed just 6 weeks ago, the organisation behind the rally attracted demonstrators today in their thousands. Parents, teachers, governors and pupils all angry because education funding is up by less than inflation, pupil numbers have increased and there's a teachers' pay round to fund. Some local authorities are already set to spend more money than they've been allocated. Campaigners say it's crazy.
You can't have a second chance at education. It's now or never. You can't say come back in a year. You can't put education on a waiting list. They've got to give us the money now, and we've got to be able to provide adequate education for our children.
Many of those involved today say they've never taken part in a demonstration before.
I think the government should think very, very carefully about the huge number of people who are here this afternoon from all over the country. Lots and lots of people like myself who don't generally get very cross.
Please give them more money at the schools and don't do these cuts. It's dreadful.
The government, however, insists education has received favoured treatment and that authorities must find savings elsewhere before cutting any teaching posts. But today's protest has upped the ante, and this latest education row shows no sign of abating. Phil Edwards, ITN, Central London.
Police in South Yorkshire are questioning a man and a woman after the discovery of the skeletons of 2 newborn babies. The remains were found by workmen clearing away rubbish next to a house in Dorton near Rotherham. It's thought they could have been there for up to 10 years. A row has erupted over the case of a young offender who was sent on a martial arts course after beating up a 13-year-old boy. The victim's mother described the decision as ludicrous. Magistrates said they understood the family's reaction, but hoped the martial arts course would help the attacker learn to control himself. Police in Japan claim to have found evidence linking a mysterious cult with the nerve gas attack on the Tokyo Underground. Samples taken after the attack match those found after a raid at one of the sect's compounds last year. In another raid overnight, police claim to have found the ingredients to make enough nerve gas to kill millions of people.
In yet another raid on the cult's headquarters, Japanese police today seized hundreds of drums of poisonous chemicals they say could have been used to make sarin, the lethal nerve gas used in the horrific attack on 5 subway trains in Tokyo. Officers say they've seized enough chemicals to kill millions of people. And within the last hour, detectives say they've established a direct link between the cult and Monday's attack in which 10 people died. Samples taken after the attack are believed to match those obtained from a raid on the cult's compound last year. Shoko Ashara, who heads the cult, denies being involved. He claims it's a smear campaign by the Japanese and